Hello,
Hello.
my name's David Sinton and this is my wife Judith Scott.
Hi.
We're from Auckland in New Zealand, which is quite a long way from Italy, and we have come here to spend our summers. We have a son living still in New Zealand. He's 21 and is going to be a pilot, eventually we hope for Ryanair. In my working life I have been extensively involved in tourism in New Zealand, both within New Zealand and sending clients overseas. So I do have an understanding of the attractions that an area has for tourism. There is a big similarity between Italy and New Zealand.
We in New Zealand have mountains flowing right down the middle of the country, and we have sea close by, similar to Abruzzo. We came to Abruzzo because we fell in love with the scenery, the mountains, the sea. In particular, this house with the old fig tree, which has been here for 120 years, I fell in love with the moment that we arrived here. The thing that we like about Abruzzo is the natural beauty, the way that Abruzzo is now. We would not like to see any of that change. It's a place that has got huge potential for tourism, for people to come and see it and enjoy the scenery and the countryside as it is now.
It's quite interesting because New Zealand and Italy, and in particular Abruzzo, have a lot in common. During the Second World War, New Zealand soldiers with the Canadians fought the Germans on the road from Ortona to Ausonia, and in particular our Maoris have a battalion, and they were heavily involved in this area. And we think it is quite remarkable that so many years later that we have arrived in an area that has real understanding between Italy and New Zealand. The reason we chose Abruzzo, and in particular this particular area of Abruzzo, was the food, the wine, but I think the most paramount thing is the people. People are so friendly and helpful and will do anything they can to make sure that you are comfortable. We now have chickens as neighbours, but heck, we're in Italy and we accept that. There is a question of should Abruzzo change? As a person who's been involved in tourism, one of the greatest attractions in the modern tourist scene is the desire for people to come to areas that are unspoiled. Abruzzo is that. To become heavily involved in large industries will only ultimately destroy the attraction that you already have, and once that attraction is destroyed you will never get it back. And I think you only have to look at other areas of Europe where this has happened, and everybody is a loser. The locals, the tourism, and it's just something that should not be allowed to happen. It may sound selfish, but I really do think that tourism is for the benefit of the people. Large industry is for the benefit of a select few. And I think that if any ideas of change are being thought of, then those that are involved should think very deeply, not of just tomorrow, but of the days in the future, because you could successfully kill what you already have.
New Zealand is an economy that is based on farming and, well, mainly farming, but also tourism. The tourism there is based on green tourism, and we have a policy at home of protecting our environment and encouraging people to visit our environment in the way it is. That's what I would like to see in Abruzzo. I would like it to be preserved exactly as it is, maybe with some changes. Maybe some people could pick up litter after them, and maybe some more public toilets and places where tourists are. But apart from those little things, I think that there is huge potential here to develop the green image of Abruzzo and encourage people to visit it just the way it is.
And I think that we can say that we are genuine with our love for Abruzzo. In the last 12 months I have convinced another couple from New Zealand who have now bought a house in Ari, and I happened to meet a Scottish couple in an airport lounge who had been looking on the Mediterranean side of Italy, but they have also now bought an Abruzzo, and it is our aim to bring more New Zealanders to this most wonderful part of Italy. This is the true Italy. I don't think we need another Tuscany. It is false. So please think carefully. Don't change it. Make a few alterations, but Abruzzo is wonderful as it is.